Probably every single one of us, at least once in our life, felt tired throughout the day, dragging the feet, getting your third or sixth cup of coffee, or maybe a little sweet treat for a quick pick me up. And at first, it feels great. It gives you a boost, and um, it's so awesome and wonderful until it comes to the crash, and you end up feeling tired and maybe even more tired than before. But what if I told you that there's only 3 tiny changes that you can do to your daily routine that can entirely transform how you feel? And those are just simple science-based tweaks that work with the natural chemistry of your body. My name is Yana. I'm a nutritionist, and today I'm going to share 3 science-based tips that can literally change your life. Just 3, super tiny. But trust me, you will feel the difference tomorrow morning. So let's start with the most controversial one. So, why that healthy morning bowl of oatmeal might actually be sabotaging your entire day. This mid-morning zombie mode when you're like reaching for your third coffee and eyeing that emergency sneaker somewhere in the drawer. That's not you being weak. That's your breakfast betraying you. And interestingly enough, a study from Stanford University did something. I think it's really curious. They gave people what usually is considered like a normal breakfast, cereal with milk, peanut butter sandwich, protein bar, and they monitored what happened in their bodies. So even people who passed all their health tests and exams with flying colors, meaning they were, perfectly healthy people, they got blood sugar response similar to diabetics after eating cereal. In fact, 8 out of 10 experienced a massive blood sugar spike. So the lead researcher, Michael Snyder, he's a professor and the chair of genetics in Stanford. He emphasized that these hidden glucose spikes aren't just, they're not about feeling tired, those random moments when you're just a bit sleepy. Actually, prolonged elevated blood sugar levels can increase the risk of cardiovascular issues and can push our bodies toward insulin resistance, which is kind of a stepping stone to diabetes. So let's talk about what's happening in your body when you start your day with something sweet. So first, my coffee is getting cold now. First, since your stomach is empty after the after the whole night of rest, which is basically fasting, those morning carbs get into your bloodstream and absorbed really fast. They quickly break down into glucose, which is your body's, energy currency. And this is the part where it gets tricky, because when this glucose floods into your bloodstream too quickly and too much, your body releases insulin to help move it into your cells. And because there's so much of those all at once, like for example, there's more glucose than your body needs for fuel excuse me, at the moment, or your pancreas doesn't produce insulin, you can experience what we call a blood sugar spike, or a rapid increase of amount of sugar in your blood, which after that is followed with a dramatic crash. So how does it feel in actual life? You might recognize some symptoms like irritability, like don't talk to me before my first coffee kind of thing. Sluggishness, um, even though you probably ate, but you still feel not so on point and energized. Intense hunger, even way before lunchtime. Uncontrollable cravings can be for salty snacks, sweet snacks, brain fog. When you have to read that email like three times in a row. And while those unpleasant moments uh, are not so nice in the moment when you experience them, uh, some people might just power through them, like hoping to finish their day and just wake up in a better mood, hopefully. But those constant spikes and crashes aren't just, they're not just about you feeling uncomfortable, they're literally setting the stage for more serious health issues. Elevated glucose increases your risk for developing insulin resistance, prediabetes, and type 2 diabetes. They can also cause inflammation and impact your blood vessels, which can lead to heart diseases. And none of that shit is fun. Now, it is important to note that a perfectly healthy person will obviously not get insulin resistance overnight. And the problem is that the longer you have those spikes and following crushes, the more is the risk that in the future potentially a person can develop insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. And that's not even all. A 2023 review, it's called Continuous Glucose Monitoring in a Healthy Population, showed that glucose spikes are associated with greater hunger and poorer mental health and sleep. Also, this study supported the notion that eating more sugar at breakfast makes you feel hungry before the next meal compared to when you're eating less sugary breakfast. This in turn can lead to eating more because also this type of food doesn't make you feel full for a long time. Apparently, taking a savory breakfast also helps reduce snacking during the day, especially high protein breakfast, as reported to a study published in Nutrition Journal. What's up, my dear? Oh, okay, you came to say hi. um, Proteins are digested slower, which helps maintain stable blood sugar levels throughout the whole day. And please, God forbid, do not cancel your favorite treats and desserts entirely. We are not monsters here. Those French stuff is really good. Just blend them after the meal instead of snacking on empty stomach. And you will do your body and mind a big favor. What? So, doesn't mean you're doomed to eating eggs and kale for the rest of your breakfast. Hell no. While every person obviously has unique glucose response to food, there are effective ways to optimize your breakfast to help maintain steady blood sugar levels. And the solution is simple. Just choose a strategic approach to your breakfast. Instead of eating naked carbs, which, just carbohydrates by themselves with nothing else, you should create a balanced meal with protein, healthy fats, and carbs all in one plate altogether. Want to know why? Because protein takes its sweet time to digest, which means it helps your body process those carbs much more slower and steady. There's going to be no sudden spikes, no crashes, and protein also can help you feel fuller for longer periods of time. Result: more stable energy and fewer easy time for lunch moments at 10 a.m. So yeah, you can have your toast. So back to our breakfast talk. So here are the examples of how breakfast swap can look like in actual real life. Instead of cereal with milk, I would opt in for an omelette with different type of mushrooms, not mushrooms, vegetables, which can be mushrooms, bell peppers, tomatoes, olives, some salad on the side. And if you really want that cereal, just keep it until after the main course, like a little dessert. No big deal. No need, I think there's no need to deny yourself something that you love, but I think that if you can optimize it for your health, why not? Me being a big fan of croissant with coffee in the morning, I mean, those really good. I would still recommend to swap it for a toast made of whole grain bread if possible, or any glucose steady bread, like seed bread, dark rye bread. You can serve it with avocados, scrambled eggs, some vegetables on the side. Sometimes I do it with blue cheese and some walnuts. Really depends on what you like. Then instead of muesli, muesli with juice or whatever, I will suggest full-fat Greek yogurt with unsweetened peanut butter. You can top it up with fruits and berries. Those are fibers that will help you curb the spike. Overnight oats. I do them with chia seeds, unsweetened peanut butter, really like that stuff, almond milk or regular milk, whatever. I can also drop sometimes a little bit of bee pollen for strengthening the immune system, and some sprinkle of berries, the fiber that we were talking about before. And about oats, there's also something I would like to discuss. Oats are a bit sneaky. They're 100% starch, and starch turns into glucose faster when digested. But don't worry, you don't need to break up with oats. According to this 2019 study in the British Journal of Nutrition, still cut oats cause significantly lower blood sugar spikes than instant oats. Still cut or large flake oats, also known as old-fashioned oats, are less processed than instant oats, and that's why it makes it makes a whole difference. When I do oats, I like to add a poached egg or boiled egg, some olives, sun-dried tomatoes, those things that really makes the whole experience pleasant. I really love to add some cheese in there too. You can still go for a sweet version if you really must by using rich in fiber fruits. Like I said before, berries are perfect, but do not add refined sugars. So this would go well again with peanut butter, which doesn't have added sugar in it, or protein powder. You can drop some chia seeds, nuts, anything that has good fat in it that can help you again curb this spike. Other cool options: cottage cheese with sour cream. You can chop some fresh tomatoes, now better cucumbers. This tastes really good and refreshing on a hot summer morning, I'm telling you. A variation of English breakfast can be eggs, beans, baked sweet potatoes. Even though sweet potato has high level of starch, it's still less than in white potato, which means absorption of glucose will be slower. Avocado, whole grain toast, and I would remove sausages and keep ultra processed foods to a minimum. For example, go just with one slice of ham. For those who have a busy, intense day ahead, and you might need like a bigger champion breakfast to keep yourself full, you can go for something heavier, like for example, fried rice with an egg, some vegetables on the side. At first, it can feel weird, like you're eating dinner for breakfast, but it can really keep you full for longer periods of time. You can even do like a tortilla with, beans, avocados, eggs, or even literally leftovers of your dinner. So why do I always clarify whole grain or less processed? The more processed an item is, the food, the more quickly it tends to be digested. So whole grains, they take longer to digest than refined grains, which have some of the parts removed during the process. So whenever possible, choose products that retain their grain entirely. Now, let's talk about fiber for a second. Yeah, exciting. Foods rich in fiber like peas, beans, carrots, citrus fruits, they all have this thing that they will slow down your sugar absorption in your bloodstream. And those greens like kale, spinach, broccoli, bell peppers, they are excellent for controlling digestion speed and again keeping you satiated and satisfied for longer. Plus, they're really good for your heart health and for the digestive system, keep things moving. Yeah. So that's why, yeah, I always try to add some ads. I always try to throw some vegetables in my breakfast whenever possible. By the way, I've got more alternative breakfast ideas and actually a whole 7-day meal plan packed with protein, which you can get for free. And so save yourself some time on planning and counting. I made every and each one of those meals, and the pics are also mine. So you can be sure that none of those is like an AI generated stuff. Actually, I cook them by myself all the time, and they are packed with protein, fiber, and really keep me full for a very long time. So the link to grab it is in the description. Now, about that morning coffee, because yeah, let's be real, most of us are not giving up that caffeine fix anytime soon. When you add milk to your coffee, you're adding lactose, which is, put simply, just sugar. In your small intestine, enzyme called lactase breaks down lactose into glucose and galactose, which are simpler sugars that your body can absorb. And that triggers a blood sugar spike. So, fat, fat in milk plays a pretty important role. Whole milk has more fat, and that slows down sugar absorption, leading to a more gradual blood sugar rise. Excuse me. So you probably already understood that skim milk might cause a bigger glucose spike because it doesn't have that fat buffer, or it's very small. And now imagine what a massive spike flavored coffee with all that added sugar can give to you. Simple solution, try having your coffee after the breakfast instead of before. I mean, I have been having my morning coffee, my morning cappuccino before breakfast for a gazillion years. And yeah, I really feel the difference when I do not start my morning with milk. So bottom line, steady glucose levels throughout the day mean consistent energy, fewer cravings, more stable hunger signals, and that means small change, significant impact. Now, let's talk about sleep. We all know that sleep is crucial, basically for everything: alertness, attention, cognitive function, learning, memory. That's no groundbreaking news here. But in this era of endless scrolling, who hasn't found themselves in bed at midnight watching just one more cute cat video, or I don't know, a new episode of that Netflix show? Even parents are handing out tablets and phones to their kids, genuinely thinking it's going to help them wind down and fall asleep. Spoiler alert. A recent study published in Journal of Adolescent Health shows just how much screens mess with our sleep. And it's not just about how long we sleep, but also the quality. When we're scrolling through social media, gaming, or using apps, our minds stay activated when they should be winding down. And there are really plenty of studies that already proved it once and again. I think 30 minutes of screen time before bed doesn't do anything. Unfortunately, it's not true. According to recent research published in Sleep Medicine, even that short amount of time is linked to later bedtime, shorter sleep duration, and feeling sleepy the next day. Here's what's happening in your body. Every evening, as the sun sets down, your body naturally starts producing melatonin, which is your sleep hormone. It's part of your circadian rhythm, which is basically your internal 24-hour clock. This melatonin gradually increases throughout the evening, peaks about 7 hours after sunset, and helps you stay asleep through the night. When morning comes, light exposure stops melatonin production, and this helps you feel alert. So, what's the big deal with screens, melatonin, and blue light? It's actually a specific part of the visible light spectrum that has direct influence on your alertness, on hormone production, and consequently sleep cycle. And guess what's pumping out blue light like it's going out of style? Pretty much every device we own. LED lights, smartphones, TVs, tablets, e-readers, video game consoles. A systematic review of over 60 studies shows that just how much these devices impact our sleep. When you use light-emitting device in the evening, it literally makes you feel more awake when you should be getting ready to go to bed and sleep. One study involving young adults found something particularly interesting. Using these devices before bedtime actually delayed their melatonin release, made it take it longer to fall asleep, and reduced their REM sleep, the really good one that your brain needs. Then teenagers, same story. Research published in Child and Adolescent Psychiatric Clinics of North America found that using LED screens before bed significantly reduced both their natural sleepiness and melatonin levels. Unfortunately, this can lead to a higher chance of kids becoming overweight. It can mess with their mental health and makes it harder for them to think and even perform and do well in school. Ready for the easiest health hack ever? Take 2 to 5 minutes to walk after each meal. That's it. I know it sounds too simple to be true, but here's the science. A 2002 meta-analysis in sports medicine found that just 2 to 5 minutes of walking after meals can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 17%. Not bad for a 2-minute investment, right? When you walk, your muscles actively soak up that excess glucose from your bloodstream. Plus, you get better blood flow throughout, the whole body, which is, I think, a win-win. And even better, researchers at George Washington University's School of Public Health found that 3 short post-meal walks were just as effective at reducing blood sugar as one 45-minute walk, especially the evening walk. That one is your golden ticket. Since blood sugar tends to stay elevated longer after dinner, they found that taking this walk is going to be more efficient after dinner. And there's more. Walking after meals comes with some other pretty cool perks, which are better gut health, optimized lymphatic system, or just better waste removal, improved circulation, release of those feel-good hormones like dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, enhanced fat metabolism, and reduced inflammation. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's all great, but how do I actually implement it into my life without it feeling like a chore? So here are some ways to sneak it into your day. If you have a favorite podcast, take it on a walk. If you have a treadmill at home, you can have a light walk with your Netflix show, and that will do the trick. For those who love music, 2 or 3 songs will be just enough, to walk with them. Dog parents, take your little one on a walk after your dinner instead of before, or take it one more time. I'm sure he or she will be super happy about this. I know Kaiju really is. If you forgot something like milk or eggs, this is also a perfect excuse to, take this walk after a meal and buy the stuff you need. If you had dinner at the restaurant, you can walk part of the way home, or you can park further away from the restaurant, so you will have to walk a little bit to get into your car, or any other way that can make you walk just a little bit after your restaurant meal before you jump into your transportation. And if you truly can't get out, even just pacing in your room while, talking on the phone, or you can do some light cleaning in the apartment, picking up stuff, toys, I don't know. Even if you're doing your dishes, you can just kind of pace on the same spot. This will all be better than nothing. So let's put it together. These 3 simple habits: savory breakfast, screen-free bedtime, and post-meal walks work great together to keep your blood sugar steady, control those random cravings, help you sleep better, boost your mood and energy levels, enhance your metabolism, and support healthy weight management. And also, you might be even lose a few kilos while doing this without trying. Those are really small things you can do without spending too much time and effort, but you will immediately start seeing the effects. And those are not only good for your energy level, hunger control, sleep improvement, but also might kickstart weight loss process. If you're interested to learn what other tweaks you can do to your daily routine to launch fat burning process, join my free 5-day challenge and enjoy feeling better and looking slimmer without dieting and extreme gym sessions. The link is in description below, and I'll see you in the next video.